Sheffield Shield has been going. Do you want to run through the games that have been happening? So New South Wales versus Victoria as their second match.
Yeah, so the last pod, the Vics were 7 for 168.
I think it was going into day 3, I think.
No, I think it was day 1 completed.
Okay, day 1 completed.
Going into day 2.
Yep.
Rain-affected match there in Sydney. The Vics ended up with 190. Matt Short had 94. Harry Conway, we're talking about him. He had 3 of the first 7. Ended up getting 8, 9, 10. Finished with 6 for 39. That's his best bowling figures from his 31 first-class games. He's averaging under 26, striking under 60. That's pretty impressive, especially considering when the other bowlers there, Pat Cummins, Trent Copeland and Sean Abbott, who have all played, obviously, for Australia. And Paddy Cummins is pretty handy.
Remember the name, Patrick Cummins.
Yeah, Patrick Cummins. I think I've heard of him. So shout out to Harry Conway being able to perform with those guys in the side. New South Wales goes out. They make 364, bolstered by Moses Enriquez, 140, and Peter Neville, 74.
Gritty, 74 too, 200 rocks, I think he faced. So.
Yeah, 8 up some balls. James Patterson, the best of the Vics, with 4 for 60. Moses striking at 70 in that knock. He got the man of the match in this one.
It's good to see. It's good to see.
The Vics go out and make 4 for 270. Footbrush. Peter Hanskin, 124 off 327 balls, if you don't mind. It was actually his first ton in over 2 years. Wow. So good for him to find some runs. Flies under the radar when they're playing Shield, don't they? It's not like Aaron Finch where everyone's got eyes on you. He knows he's in bad form, but not the whole nation's talking about it. So good on you, Footbrush, for getting some runs there. Match ends in a draw, nowhere near close to a result. A little bit of rain in Sydney. And looks like Akshar Patel may have another one here. Dom Best facing, they're going to review.
Mr. Straight Line, they're going to review.
We want them to get to 100 and they're not even going to get there.
Well, this was a good game. I think we've talked about it here. The biggest question mark on the Esky for the Aussie team is that number 5 right now, if you want our best team. And we'll get to Travis Head very shortly, but we talk about Fess has just missed this straight one. That's hitting all 3. Enriquez comes out, like you say, hits that match-winning performance. Peter Hanscom had that spot in the test team for a good 18 months. He had that. He's still young. He's hitting runs. We talk about people chewing up deliveries. We need people to be out there.
300 plus.
300 plus, hits 120. Really good knock from him. Like we said, it was a draw, stalemate from pretty much the first ball. So that number 5 is up for grabs as far as I'm concerned. So good on them. Curtis Patterson, this one failed. He's obviously in the mix. Let's start putting emphasis on this, and clearly these boys know that they're in for a shot, and obviously, the
spot's available, definitely.
The spot's up for grabs. I mean, and we'll get to the next match very shortly, but I think
Patterson play in that game? I need to. I'll just.
He did, yeah. He had a couple 20s.
Yeah.
But again, he got 4 and then 20 in the second.
There you go.
No, he didn't. He got 4 and then a duck. Apologies. So again, he's missed his mark. From all reports, wasn't easy batting, so quite gritty, but I kind of like that. Kind of like it that you have to work for your ball. You have to face 300 deliveries to hit your tone, grind it out, draw it out. So again, good on Enriquez and Hanscom for putting the hand up, and Conway again bolster this. We love quicks. Let's have different variety of quicks, and Harry Conway is definitely one of them.
Let's talk about this West Australia South Australia game.
Unbelievable match, this one.
Yeah, great match in this one. Run us through it, baby.
So South Australia, first innings, 8 for 510. We'll just mention that man, Travis Head, 223. Thank you very much. Striking at 91. You do have to take.
He's got to fight. He's got to keep these boys away. So he's got to fight for his spot.
He's checking his Cricket Australia app in the breaks, going, "Shit, I better do something here."
I need to get
we'll mention his name later in this podcast too. Remember, there was no Jai Richardson, no Jason Berendorf, no Andrew Tye. They're all in New Zealand on the T20 tour. Joel Paris, I think he may be hurt, so a bit of a second-tier WA attack. WA go out, they make 5 for 409. Cam Bancroft, nice to see him in the runs, 126.
Another young guy as well that's opened and played at the top of the order.
And obviously sacrifice in the sandpaper gate. So, yeah, good to see him out there making runs. But it was overshadowed by another Cameron Green. He is in an absolute purple patch at the moment. Again, we'll mention his name later in the pod. 168 not out. His first-class batting average, 54. His bowling average is 27. They say as an all-rounder, if your batting average is higher than your bowling average, you're doing pretty good.
Double it up.
Don't mind if it's double. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah. No, and again, he's in the team now, so that's your spot.
Yeah,
go back, dominate this
got to keep
level.
It, but yeah,
Sheffield Shield isn't your level
keeping
anymore. This isn't your level. Be better than this.
And also the declaration, very interesting there from Sean Marsh. 100 runs behind, declared looking for a result. Don't want to have a draw. Let's try and play for a result in 4 days. And they went bloody close. We'll get to that in just a second. South Australia, 9 for 230 declared. Alex Carey, 82 not out. Harry Nielsen, 67. Liam O'Connor, remember the name. His leggy playing his third Shield game. He had 3 for 53. His role in this match was not over just yet.
Exactly.
So the fourth innings, WA goes out. There's not really any chance that they can win the game. It's sort of playing for a draw. 9 for 148 they finished. Sean Marsh, 45. Dan Worrell, 4 for 30. And David Grant, 4 for 38. So if you guys don't know, this game went to the last ball. Last ball, it could have been a result. Obviously, South Australia needing a wicket with WA being 9 for. Before that happened, Hilton Cartwright and Cam Gannon, they were trying to chew up some balls for the 8th wicket.
Keep going. Yeah, 200 the ball. So Cartwright faced 120 rocks for his 25. They were just trying to. Yeah. Sorry, that's what.
So Mac has just passed me the note there. So yeah, just chewing up deliveries, trying to save the game here. Cartwright looked like he was caught behind. Huge appeal denied. Didn't matter. Goes at short leg. 3 balls later, it looks all over for South Australia. There's still about 10 overs left in this game.
Western Australia.
All over for Western Australia.
Yep.
Liam Guthrie didn't last long. 6-ball duck. Then enter that man, Liam O'Connor. That man in his 3rd game, he's never scored a Shield run. His average is 0. I think he's had a couple not outs and been dismissed twice, batting 11. He's facing Dan Worrell and Chad Sayers. They've got over 500 Shield wickets between them. So there's about 4 overs left with him batting with Cameron Gannon. And he survives right to the last one. He's got Chad Sayers bowling to him. And it goes down to the last ball. South Australia need the wicket for the victory. WA playing for the draw, giving their fates in a man who's never scored a Shield run. He gets one from Chad Sayers. It just pops over short cover, lands very safely in front of point. Just an absolute sand wedge that just goes in the right patch of green. And the South Australians couldn't believe it. Scintillating draw.
Yeah. Only sport in the world where you play for 4 days in Shield cricket, and it comes down to the last ball, and no one wins, and everyone loves it.
Yeah,
everyone's happy. I mean, excluding those fans of the team.
Well, it's a great 4 days to get to that point.
But if you're not, playing on that field, you love that. You absolutely, and you know what, the Western Australian boys would have loved it too. Like, we didn't win that. We're so happy to have won that game. We're so happy for a draw. It's the only sport in the world. Again, we love.
It's not like
we love hearing about this and giving a shit about Shield cricket. It's not about just getting our bowlers up and again, we have our 11 players. Let's make sure they're doing well. Let's play these games like they matter. Let's play them like they're in national cricket.
And it's not like one of these teams dominated the whole time. Like, scored 1,000 runs.
Back and forth. Yep.
Yeah,
and like you say,
competitive, back and forth, really close.
Tactical with Marsh with the early declaration, as you said, let's go for the victory. Look, we've got...
It's Shield cricket. Like, why not?
Awesome.
Like, let's
so good. Runs, wickets, draw. Fantastic. Let's do that every game.
The whole shebang.
Yeah, exactly right. But again, so Enriquez and Hanskin sort of say, hey, that 5's up for grabs. And then Travis Head says, nah, if we were playing South Africa right now, I'd be batting 5, and I'm showing you this right now. So good on the head. And Henry Hunt also hit a ton in the first inning, so opening the batting. So he's a good young stick.
Out of Cowra.
Cowra boy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Shout out to Cowra. These two teams met again at the Wacker for a Marsh Cup one-dayer, and this was a great game as well. And familiar names in this one that performing. WA, they bat first, 5 for 369, 7 and over. Nice. Thank you. Largely in part to Sean Marsh with 113 off 110, and that man, Cameron Green, 144 off 101. He is an absolute form of his life, and he's only 23, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he should play a lot for Australia.
And now look, this is all forms. You can hit the round thing coming at you with the wooden thing you're holding.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what colour clothes you're wearing, how long you're out there for. You know, he's reverse sweep from
Jimmy Anderson.
Caught that Akshar. God,
and
if Akshar could bowl a bouncer,
they might get this 200.
If he can bowl a bouncer, I reckon it's coming now. Actually.
Yeah, that's right.
Jeez, Jimmy, how long's been practicing?
Jimmy.
He'll roll the armour a bit quicker and bowl a bit short. This one's the next one.
This is a garbage ball, mind you.
Oh, that's delicious.
He's probably throwing it out there. Try hitting this and hope Jimmy.
What are you going to do with this
skies
ball? Reverse. Oh, I didn't even look at it.
Actually, on replay, it wasn't that wide. I thought it was quite wide looking at it. Nearly gets him next ball.
Yeah.
South Australia go out. They make 356. They lose by 13 runs. You think
got to be flat with that.
You think that's not a bad effort. They should have won this very easily. Travis Head had 142 off 86. Harry Nielsen 110 off 118. They were 2 for 280, so they only needed 80 runs off the last 12 overs with 8 wickets in hand.
Wow. Run a ball. It was 8 wickets,
Alex Carey run out, Diamond Duck. The middle order just collapsed. There was 4 run outs, and they bottle it and lose by 13. Another entertaining game there between WA and South Australia. And today in the Shield, I think it was in the Marsh Cup, the one-day cup for those people who aren't up to date with the new sponsors.
Shout out if you want to come down and get a fledgling
what
podcast.
What did they make?
Well, South Australia went out first and they only made 200. Alex Carey got out for 99. The poor bugger batting 4. So he made half the runs there. And New South Wales made light work of it. David Warner got an 87, 74 rocks, Devil's number.
Came out during the week that he says he's now 100% healthy.
Yep.
Said he probably rushed himself back into the test squad to play those 2 tests.
It looked like it.
Yeah. So he's I think he said his lateral movement's the thing he's got to work on now, but everything else is good. He's running fine. So
love to see that.
Yeah, need him healthy.
He said it's more mental. He said,
yes.
And I'm not going to compare myself to Dave Warner. I'm not going to compare myself to it. I've had osteitis pubis before, and it's such a niggling injury that and doctors will tell you, you've got it, so you either have to play with it or the only thing you can do is rest. You can play with it; it won't be hip. So it's a mental thing. And Warner's come out and said with the groin, it's mental. I'm just going to have to be. He's used to throwing himself around and flying around and sprinting and lunging for shots and hitting the shit out of the ball. He'll still be able to do it. There'll be pain there. So can he just get over that mentally? So that's a good sign there.
And when people say groin injury, the first thing that comes to mind is your muscles. Yeah. Possibly. Maybe
he probably heard it shagging him too much.
Maybe the second thing that might come to mind, possibly the soft tissue, the muscles in the groin. Osteitis pubis is. Yeah, it's actually the cartilage in between your pubic bone. It's very common. Very common in AFL footballers and kicking motion. So it actually takes a bit longer to get back from say
just in the groin
muscle.
region. And he has said it's a mental thing. I need to get back to just living with pain, which sounds awful. Like okay, I'm just going to be in pain now while I play international cricket, but It's good to see him hit and run.
He's got a lot of time to get healthy, say for the Ashes.
Exactly right. So. That's what priority number 1 has to be for all cricketers.
And
Dave Warner is facing the first ball of the Ashes, as far as I'm concerned. So there's nothing he can do between now and then that won't leave him there. So
he just needs to get ready for that. Yes, play some Shield games, hit the ball in. Don't put yourself out body wise. Don't do silly things in the field. Get healthy, and then go into the Ashes very strong.
100%. Yeah,
beautiful.
So